Good afternoon. Glad that you've chosen to spend some time studying the Bible with us today. Today we're looking at Mark chapter 12, verses 35 to 44. And as Jesus taught in the temple, he said, "How can the scribes say that Christ is the son of David? David himself in the Holy Spirit declared, 'The Lord said to my Lord, sit at my right hand until I put your enemies under your feet.' David himself calls him Lord. So how is he his son?" And the great throng heard him gladly. And in his teaching he said, "Beware of the scribes who like to walk around in long robes and like greetings in the marketplaces, and have the best seats in the synagogues and the places of honor at feasts, who devour widows' houses and for a pretense make long prayers. They receive the greater condemnation." And he sat down opposite the treasury and watched the people putting money into the offering box. Many rich people put in large sums, and a poor widow came and put in 2 small copper coins, which make a penny. And he called his disciples to him and said to them, "Truly I say to you, this poor widow has put in more than all those who are contributing to the offering box. For they all contributed out of their abundance, but she out of her poverty has put in everything she had, all she had to live on." So Jesus is concluding his teaching in the temple in the time where the scribes, the Pharisees, Sadducees all come to him, and one after another they're testing him. And he now starts addressing a question really that wasn't asked, at least not right then. He talks about in reference to a psalm. How can, if the Messiah is the son of David, why does David say that, the Lord said to my Lord? So how can he be son and Lord at the same time? And the people agreed that Messiah would be the son of David. He would be a descendant of David. Then Jesus pivots, it seems, and talks about scribes, not all scribes, because the last one that asked him a question he was very complimentary of, but scribes, they like to dress in long robes, and they like to do all these things and be seen, and kind of an outward show. And he condemned them for that. And then he talked about this woman giving her offering in the temple, and how it compared to many rich people and their offering. And it seems like okay, so this is 3 different things. Well, sort of, but it's really the same thing in a way. Because what Jesus is saying with the Messiah, he's saying, so many people have this idea that Messiah is going to be the son of David. But that's all they think. He's going to be a new king in the line of David to give him that royal imprimatur, that royal authority, that royal lineage. And he'll come and he will, like David, he will put down the foreign enemies. But they misunderstood the import of what Messiah was going to do. You could say that they saw the Messiah as truly, fully man. But Jesus was saying the Messiah is also David's Lord. The Messiah is more than that. He is fully God and fully man. He's both. And this was something that the Jewish leadership could not wrap their minds around and would not wrap their minds around. They weren't ready to make that sort of commitment. They were ready to commit to a Messiah, not Jesus because he didn't please them. They were ready to commit to a Messiah that was a partial, not this full-orbed view. And so, in light of that, when he talks about the scribes going around, they've got their outside act all put together. Everything on the outside looks good, but on the inside, they're not really living for the Lord. They're not really doing what God would want, what pleases God. And then he talks about this offering in the temple. Now, there were these brass horns, so to speak, that you put the offering in. So if you're putting coins in this metal funnel kind of thing, it's going to make a lot of money. So you can tell who's giving a lot because it all rattles in there. And this woman just put in 2 of the tiniest little coins that was like a hundredth or even less of a day's wage. I mean, she just didn't have anything, and she put it in there. And Jesus says it's her that actually gave more. That would have left them scratching their heads a little bit. Wait a minute, the other people, they clearly gave more. But no, Jesus says she gave more because what she gave was everything. She exhibited this total commitment to God. It was more than the wealthy people were giving. They gave out of their abundance. In other words, it didn't hurt them to give. It didn't cost them really anything because they had more than enough. They were very wealthy. They gave more than other people could. And so in a way, they were getting their benefit because everybody knew how wealthy they were. And everybody knew, they were giving a lot. But they weren't giving like this woman did. And then the scribes, they were giving of their outer life, but they weren't giving their inner life to God. These are all sorts of issues that are reflective of the fact that Jesus, as God's Messiah, is fully God and fully man. Do we accept him as those things, both of those things? Do I only accept Jesus as a man? Do I think, well, he's a good teacher, he's a moral example, he's those things, but he's not really God? Well, if I do, then I'm not giving the kind of commitment that he wants or deserves. There are all sorts of problems if I accept that he was fully God but not really a man. That gives me some problems with my doctrine. That kind of leads toward heresies. That's not good either. He was both. And so Jesus wants this full-orbed commitment from us. He wants us to give everything. So the question is, can I give my full commitment to the Lord? Will my commitment reflect that Jesus is fully God and fully man? Will my lifestyle, will my actions show what I believe in this regard? And Jesus brought it up, so I have to ask, will my financial giving show my commitment to the Lord? That's a good question. It's one that, a lot of people get bothered by if a preacher starts talking about giving and offering and tithe. But really, there's a lot said in the scriptures about money. And if we get bothered that it would be implied that the Lord wants us to give, well, then probably that's an area where we need to pray about. Well, I hope you're having a great day. I hope that you are making plans on being in church tomorrow. If you don't have a church home and you're in the Taylorville area, I'd like to invite you to our church. We're at Taylorville First Church of the Nazarene, 300 South Shumway. Service times are 9:15 for Sunday school and fellowship for all ages, and morning worship at 10:30. We'd love to have you. If you have a church home, please be there. Be an encouragement to your fellow believers and your pastor, and have a great weekend. God bless.